This weekend the northeastern United States is locked in a true Arctic invasion. Temperatures have plummeted overnight, and the region is waking up to a world transformed by relentless cold. The air itself feels heavy, as if the very atmosphere has thickened with ice. For millions this is not just another winter weekend, it's a test of endurance, patience, and preparation. Over 100 million people are waking up to a landscape transformed. Beautiful, but treacherous. The sun rises over a world painted white, where every surface glistens with frost and ice. Streets that were bustling just yesterday now lie silent, muffled by a thick blanket of snow. For some, the morning means shoveling out driveways and sidewalks, while others simply marvel at the quiet beauty outside their windows. This isn't just another winter day, it's the coldest air of the season, demanding respect and caution. Thermometers across the region are registering temperatures well below freezing, with wind chills that can bite through even the thickest layers. The cold is relentless, seeping into homes, cars, and bones alike. It's a reminder of nature's power and the need to take every precaution. Step outside and the sting on exposed skin is instant, your breath a thick cloud in the frigid air. Scarves are pulled tight, hats are tugged low, and every inch of skin is covered to ward off the biting wind. Even a short walk feels like an expedition, as the cold nips at fingers and toes. The world feels quieter, as if the cold itself has hushed the usual sounds of daily life. Even the sounds are different. Snow squeaks underfoot, and traffic is muffled by the dense cold. The usual city bustle is replaced by the rhythmic scrape of shovels and the distant hum of snowplows. Every movement is slower, more deliberate, as people adjust to the slippery, frozen world outside. The deep freeze has changed not just the landscape, but the very rhythm of daily life. Ponds and lakes are freezing over, trees stand coated in frost, and the world feels frozen in time. Nature itself seems to pause, wrapped in a shimmering coat of ice. For some, the cold brings a chance to skate or play in the snow, but for others, it's a challenge just to keep warm. The deep freeze touches every aspect of life, from recreation to routine. This is more than a cold snap, it's a full-scale Arctic outbreak, a dramatic shift that's brought the polar region to our doorstep. The wind howls through city streets, carrying with it the unmistakable bite of the far north. Snow falls relentlessly, piling up on rooftops and sidewalks, transforming familiar places into winter fortresses. It's a weekend that will be remembered for its intensity and its beauty. The cold is a deep, heavy mass of air, bringing hazards far beyond discomfort. Emergency crews are on alert, responding to accidents and power outages. Icy roads and sidewalks pose dangers for drivers and pedestrians alike. Power lines groan under the weight of ice, and the risk of frostbite and hypothermia is real. This Arctic blast is a reminder to check on neighbors, stay indoors when possible, and respect the power of winter. From the Great Lakes to the mid-Atlantic, the message is clear. Winter has arrived with a vengeance. Cities from Buffalo to Boston are blanketed in snow, and the cold stretches as far south as the nation's capital. Weather alerts flash across screens, urging everyone to take precautions. This is a weekend that will test the region's resilience and remind us all of the power of nature. Bundle up, this deep freeze is here to stay for the weekend. Whether you're braving the cold outside or finding warmth indoors, remember to take care of yourself and those around you. The Arctic air may be relentless, but so is the spirit of the Northeast. Stay safe, stay warm, and watch as winter's power transforms the world around you. Where did this brutal cold come from? Its origins lie far north, in the frozen Canadian tundra. This dense, dry air mass spent weeks over snow and ice, losing any warmth before barreling south. A powerful ridge of high pressure forced the jet stream to dip, creating an atmospheric superhighway for Arctic air to surge into the northeast. The leading edge, called an Arctic front, wedges out milder air, triggering dramatic weather changes. Temperatures drop sharply, winds shift, and snow flurries mark the front's arrival. This isn't a glancing blow, it's a direct hit, with the air arriving nearly as cold as when it left the Arctic. The high-pressure system locks the cold in place, making this event especially intense. Millions are now experiencing a true taste of polar winter. Timing is everything with this Arctic outbreak. As the coldest air of the season descends on the Northeast, every hour matters. The arrival of this Arctic blast is not just a matter of temperature, but of preparation and resilience. The way the cold sweeps in, fast and unforgiving, means that even a few hours can make a huge difference in how communities and individuals cope. For most of the Northeast, the worst cold began Friday night and will persist through Saturday night. This is a prolonged event, not just a quick dip in the thermometer. The cold settles in, lingering over cities and towns, making each hour feel longer and more intense. As the sun sets, temperatures plummet even further, and the risk of frostbite and hypothermia increases for anyone caught outside, unprepared. Cities like Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and D.C. are enduring a full day of dangerous cold, with highs barely reaching the teens. Residents bundle up in layers, their breath visible in the frigid air. As they navigate icy sidewalks and snow-covered streets, schools and businesses adjust their hours, and public officials urge everyone to limit time outdoors. The cold is not just uncomfortable, it's hazardous, especially for the elderly, children, and those without adequate shelter. In New England, the coldest conditions arrive late Saturday into Sunday, with sub-zero readings expected by dawn. As the first light breaks over snow-blanketed towns, thermometers dip well below zero and the air feels razor-sharp. Pipes are at risk of freezing, and even brief exposure can be dangerous. The region braces for a night where the cold is not just a number, but a real and present threat to daily life. The Arctic front swept across Pennsylvania and New York on Friday, dropping temperatures by 20–30 degrees in just a few hours. Streets that were wet in the afternoon quickly turned icy, and steam rose from manhole covers as the warmth of the city met the invading chill. This rapid change caught many off guard, forcing last-minute preparations and urgent warnings from local authorities. Saturday night brings the coldest air to the mid-Atlantic, while New England braces for its own deep freeze. Streets empty out as people hunker down indoors, and the wind howls through neighborhoods, rattling windows and frosting over glass. The sense of isolation grows as the cold intensifies, making even short trips outside a challenge. The duration of this cold, not just the lowest temperatures, strains infrastructure and health. Utility crews work around the clock to repair frozen pipes and restore power, while hospitals prepare for an uptick in cold-related emergencies. Roads become treacherous, and public transportation faces delays. The relentless cold tests the limits of both people and the systems they rely on. Plan carefully, this is a stretch of weather that demands caution. Families stock up on supplies, check on neighbors, and make sure pets are safe indoors. Local officials issue warnings about the dangers of prolonged exposure, and community centers open as warming shelters. Every decision, from what to wear to when to travel, takes on new importance in the face of such extreme cold. The cold's grip is relentless, and timing your activities could make all the difference. Whether you're heading to work, running errands, or simply stepping outside, being aware of the forecast and planning ahead is crucial. In these conditions, a little preparation goes a long way towards staying safe and warm until the Arctic air finally loosens its hold. The numbers are staggering. Real feel. Temperatures will plunge to 10 to 20 below zero across much of the Northeast. This isn't just a typical winter cold snap, it's a deep freeze that will grip the region with an intensity rarely seen. As Arctic air surges southward, communities from Maine to Pennsylvania will be blanketed in a relentless chill, with temperatures dropping rapidly overnight and refusing to rise much during the day. For many, this will be a test of endurance, as the cold seeps into every corner of daily life. In the coldest spots, wind chills could reach 25–40 below, making frostbite possible in under 10 minutes. The biting wind will cut through even the thickest layers, and exposed skin can freeze in moments. It's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Schools and businesses may close, and outdoor activities will be risky. Emergency services are urging everyone to limit time outside and to check on neighbors, especially the elderly and vulnerable. Even major cities like Boston, Philadelphia, and New York will see lows near zero or in the single digits. Urban centers, usually buffered by the heat of buildings and traffic, will not be spared. The cold will seep into apartments and homes, straining heating systems and increasing the risk of power outages. Public transportation may be delayed or disrupted, and city streets will be eerily quiet as people hunker down indoors. The cold will reach deep into the south, with single digits possible in southeastern Virginia. This is unusual for the region, where winters are typically milder. Residents unaccustomed to such extremes will need to take extra precautions as pipes can freeze and roads may become treacherous with ice. Even southern homes, often built for warmth rather than cold, will be put to the test. Sunday morning will be the coldest of the winter for many, with widespread sub-zero readings in upstate New York and northern New England. As the sun rises, the landscape will be transformed into a frozen wonderland, but the beauty masks the real danger lurking in the air. Rural communities, often more isolated, may face additional challenges as they deal with frozen pipes, icy roads, and limited access to emergency services. This is the most extreme cold in at least a decade for many areas. Meteorologists are comparing this outbreak to some of the most severe cold snaps in recent memory. Records may be broken, and stories of this winter will be told for years to come. The sheer scale of the cold is a reminder of nature's power and unpredictability. The prolonged chill is a stark reminder of what a true Arctic outbreak can deliver. It's not just a brief dip in temperature, it's a sustained assault that tests infrastructure, communities, and individuals alike. The wind howls through empty streets, flags snap in the icy gusts, and the landscape is locked in a deep freeze that feels almost unending. These aren't just numbers, they're a real, hazardous threat to millions. For those without adequate shelter or heat, the risks are even greater. Emergency alerts are being issued, and families are urged to stay informed and prepared. The cold can affect everything from transportation to health, and it's vital to take every warning seriously. Stay vigilant and respect the power of this deep freeze. Dress in layers, cover exposed skin, and avoid unnecessary travel. If you must go outside, move quickly and return indoors as soon as possible. Watch for signs of frostbite and hypothermia, and help those who may be at greater risk. Community support and awareness can make all the difference during such extreme events. The cold is more than discomfort, it's a danger. It's a force that demands respect and preparation. As this Arctic outbreak unfolds, remember, safety comes first. Take care of yourself, your loved ones, and your neighbors, and together we can weather even the harshest winter storms. The cold is only half the story, the wind is the other. Gusts of 35-55 mph, with some spots reaching 60, are making the cold feel even more brutal. Wind strips away body heat, dropping real feeler temperatures to dangerous levels and shortening safe exposure times. These powerful gusts can make walking difficult and turn loose objects into hazards. The wind also seeps into homes, driving up heating costs and creating drafts. Relief is coming. As high pressure settles in Sunday, winds will ease, but the cold will remain severe. The combination of wind and cold is what makes this event so dangerous. Take the wind seriously, it's a relentless force in this Arctic outbreak. Even as winds calm, the cold will still demand caution. The worst phase ends as winds drop, but the chill lingers. Snow is adding to the challenges of this Arctic blast. The Arctic front triggered flurries and snow squalls, creating sudden travel hazards and slick roads. Lake effect and ocean effect snow are piling up in some areas, with 3 to 6 inches possible along the Great Lakes and in parts of New England. Blowing and drifting snow is causing major travel disruptions, especially in open areas. Air travel is also impacted, with frequent dicing and delays at major airports. The message: expect delays and avoid travel during the worst conditions. Snow and wind together make this a weekend to stay off the roads. The dangers go beyond the thermometer. Frostbite and hypothermia are real threats. Wind chills of 20-30 below can cause frostbite in minutes, especially for the vulnerable. The cold is straining energy supplies, driving up heating bills, and putting pressure on the power grid. Ice is rapidly expanding on lakes and rivers, disrupting transportation and damaging infrastructure. Even starting your car can be a challenge, as batteries struggle in the extreme cold. Travel is risky: cracked rails, icy roads, and the danger of being stranded make this a weekend to stay indoors. Check on neighbors, and ensure everyone has a warm, safe place to ride out the storm. This is a time for caution, preparation, and community. The cold's impact is everywhere, from health to daily life. Stay safe and look out for one another. Relief is on the way. A significant pattern change is coming. By early next week, milder Pacific air will replace the Arctic chill, and temperatures will climb above freezing for many. Florida escapes the worst, with no major freeze expected in citrus regions. The thaw will be dramatic, but it brings new challenges. Melting snow can refreeze overnight, creating icy patches. Dense fog and ice jams on rivers are possible as the landscape transitions. The focus shifts from deep freeze to managing the thaw's hazards. Warmer days are ahead, but stay alert for new risks. The end of the deep freeze is in sight. As we endure the final stretch of this Arctic outbreak, safety comes first. Limit time outdoors, dress in layers, and cover all exposed skin. Check on elderly neighbors and ensure everyone has heat and supplies. Bring pets indoors and protect their paws from the cold and salt. Prepare your home. Let faucets drip and open cabinets to prevent frozen pipes. Keep your car winter ready with emergency supplies and a full gas tank. Remember, this cold is temporary. A warm-up is on the way. Soon, we'll be talking about melting snow and rising temperatures. Stay warm, stay safe, and look out for each other. The thaw is coming, and brighter days are ahead.